This is Birmingham News. Coming up, an arrest is made after shots were fired in Small Heath. We're marking World Homeless Day and World Mental Health Day with two special reports. And we take a trip back in time to find out what you would have paid for cars and home luxuries in Dudley in the 1950s. It's your news for Birmingham and the West Midlands. Hello again. A man has been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder after shots were fired from a car in Birmingham on Monday evening. Police received a 999 call just before 5:30, reporting a firearm being discharged from a vehicle in Arthur Street near Bolton Road in Small Heath. No one was hurt and the area was cordoned off for a fingertip search. West Midlands police officers carried out inquiries on the car believed to have been involved and later stopped a vehicle in St Andrew Road, Bordsley, just after 1 o'clock on Tuesday morning. A 27-year-old man from Oldbury was arrested and questioned, and the car was seized for forensic examination. West Midlands Police CID can be contacted on 101, or you can call Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111. Birmingham's first permanent night shelter for rough sleepers has officially opened on World Homeless Day. Tabor House will provide accommodation and food for homeless people from 3 days to 28 days, depending on how long the person chooses to stay there. It's aimed at getting homeless people back on track by providing them with a mentor, as Olivia Marks reports.
I can never smile properly anymore. People that know me say I'm depressed. That's what my poison is, drink. Blocks the pain away, doesn't it? It's horrible.
Birmingham's one of the top 10 worst affected cities in the UK for homelessness, and with winter looming, it's those sleeping rough on the streets who are often vulnerable. But now the first permanent night shelter in the city has launched, aimed at encouraging a brighter future for the homeless people they take in.
They either come for 3 nights or they come for 28 nights. And they have showers and laundry and a safe space for them to be in overnight, evening and morning. We have evening meals and breakfasts. But importantly, the 28-nighters, we also give them a mentor. So for 3 or 6 months, they will have one mentor to work with them to support them in moving themselves forward in their lives.
How it works is Cypher Fireside and Midlands Heart refer those who will benefit from Tabor House. At the moment, they can accommodate for 6 people, but they're planning on expanding.
Addiction is one of the things in the forefront. Also some migrant workers, they just don't have something to fall back on, family or finances. They come with the promise of a job and it falls through, and maybe they get into sort of a negative lifestyle. We're taking people from all walks of life and all different stages and strengths and challenges.
The rate of homelessness in the city has increased by 2,000% since 2009 and 2010. But a government spokesperson has said homelessness is a complex issue with no single solution, and it's investing £550 million to 2020 to address the issue. With the help of 100 volunteers at Tabor House, they're hoping they can play their part in transforming the lives of rough sleepers. Olivia Marks, Birmingham News.
Police are appealing for witnesses following a fatal collision involving a cyclist in Birmingham on Monday afternoon. Emergency services were called to the junction of Edgbaston Road and Pershaw Road at around 4 o'clock following the collision involving a lorry and a female cyclist. The 32-year-old woman was treated by paramedics, but despite their best efforts, she was pronounced dead at the scene. The lorry driver remained at the scene and is assisting police with investigations. Anyone with information is urged to call police on 101. Mental health is a subject that will affect many of us in some capacity throughout our lives. But this week, mental health is being given a huge push as awareness is raised with a day of consultation. Hayden Atkins was out in Birmingham to find out how one push is helping to make a difference.
The 10th of October marks World Mental Health Day, and up and down the country, support centres have been set up to help those in need. And in Birmingham, that was no different. Held at the Mac in Cannon Hill Park, a variety of charities and support services were in attendance to offer advice and guidance. And we spoke to Liz Armstrong, CEO of Better Pathways, a mental health charity based in Digbeth, who told us about the day and offered her advice to people who might be suffering.
So today is World Mental Health Day, and organisations across the world will be celebrating and marking today, and it's really to raise awareness of mental health conditions, and those people who maybe don't have a voice as well as others may have, so it's to mark the event. My advice would be to come down and see us or to talk to a friend about it. It really doesn't matter who you talk to about it, as long as it's somebody that's able to support you. But our door is always open for people with mental health conditions, as are the other organisations here. So don't be alone, come down and talk to us, seek help because it is there.
Birmingham News also spoke to Tom Howell from Birmingham Cross City CCG, who told us about how funding mental health works and the strategies in place to prevent those from suffering more.
Okay, that can be difficult because invariably there's lots of different pressures on NHS money. So in terms of mental health, we need to spend some money on people who might need to use an inpatient service, but we also want to spend money on preventing mental ill health. We try and use evidence where we possibly can to help guide our commissioning decisions, but it's also really important that we talk to people that might use services or might be carers or family members to get a sense of what's important to them as well. We like to think about how people who maybe have existing mental health problems can be supported to avoid going into crisis. So we're currently looking at developing things called crisis cafes, which are there as an alternative to maybe going to A&E, for example. We're also working with the West Midlands Academic Health Science Network and looking at prevention for children and young people, because we know that if we intervene early, particularly where young people have had really adverse events in their childhood, that we can make a real difference for them later in life.
Mental health continues to be a topic of hot discussion, but it's clear that charities and sufferers alike are confident that in time the issue will become even more approachable. This is Hayden Atkins for Birmingham News.
Babies are one of the happiest moments of a new mother's life, but for new mums who suffer with postnatal depression, those first few weeks, months and even years can be a real struggle. For one mum based in Birmingham, the answer to helping come to terms with any depression is exercise, and thanks to some new research, more help for sufferers could become more readily available. Hayden Atkins went to meet her.
Taking those first steps as a new mother can often be the most daunting and exciting of anyone's life. But postnatal depression, a condition which can affect more than 1 in 10 mothers, is a common occurrence and if left undealt with can lead to catastrophic circumstances. That's why Sophia Cooper, a mum in Birmingham, set up One Fit Mama, a now nationwide company that provides exercise classes for women who have just become mums, including those with PND. She told Birmingham News that the reason for quitting her job and setting up the company is very close to her heart.
The class was started because back in 2010 I suffered really bad postnatal depression and considered taking my own life. And when I spoke to a counsellor, they advised I went to a fitness class, but I couldn't really find anything that was suitable because I didn't want to leave my baby. So after a couple of months of going to a different type of circuit class, I had the idea to combine the two, and so left my job and just decided to go for it and try, and it's been really, really successful. And we've seen a real impact that we're making in communities, and now it's a nationwide company, so we're helping women across the country as well.
The classes, which run for 45 minutes, focus on allowing young children and babies to attend with their mothers, allowing women to exercise carefree in a fun and friendly environment. And new research from the University of Birmingham shows that aerobic exercise, like that in Sophia's classes, should be considered as a management option for those suffering with PND. And Sophia told us why this new research could be the breakthrough she and her company has been waiting for.
It was really exciting to see an actual study confirming that, so it's not just something that we're saying, we know now that that is true. So many mums that could do with funding. So we fundraise so that the mums that have postnatal depression don't have to pay. But our fundraising part isn't, it's not never ending. We have to keep topping it up, and we can't help everybody, unfortunately, because we just don't have the budget to do that. So funding to us would be incredible, because it would mean that every single mum that has postnatal depression would be able to access us for free. We wouldn't have to put a cap of 6 weeks. weeks. They could come until they felt better. And I think as well, a lot of the mums that do come are happy to pay. Maybe the mums that need it the most maybe can't afford to pay. They maybe don't have the budget to spend £20 on a class. So it would be really good to reach the mums that need it the most.
There's no doubting that every new mum loves their children more than anything in the world, but sometimes postnatal depression can make those early stages really difficult. But with research now suggesting exercise could be one of the ways to aid recovery, these are positive times for mums and all of those who attend One Fit Mama classes. This is Hayden Atkins for Birmingham News.
You're watching Birmingham News here on Made in Birmingham. Thanks very much for joining us. Coming up a little later, it's our entertainment show, The Lowdown. So let's have a quick preview from Taffy, George and Aaron.
Hello, you lovely lot. Join us in just a bit for the lowdown here on Made in Birmingham TV, where on the show, the wonderful Evie Burnett is going to give me a singing lesson on a piano. Hopefully my voice will get up to par with this one. Probably not.
Well, I've got my giggly garters on today because Aaron heads over to the Birmingham Comedy Festival and hopefully he makes me laugh a little bit harder.
Yes, as I always do. And also we'll have the Travel Pirate who will be showing us another hotspot in Birmingham.
Yeah, so don't go anywhere. Join us for the lowdown in just a bit. We'll wait right here for you. We won't move.
This is Birmingham News. Still to come, we'll be taking a look at some of the once familiar transport sites in and around our area. All that at the latest sports news from Sasha when we come back. Stay with us. Hello and welcome back to Birmingham News. The Transport Museum in Withall was a popular place last weekend as they invited visitors to look back across the years at some of the once familiar sites around the Birmingham area. We sent our cameras along for a ride on a bus. The Transport Museum proved it was just the ticket for bus and nostalgia enthusiasts who turned out to commemorate the 70th and 80th birthday of two of the museum's oldest working former Birmingham City Transport buses.
The one pre-war one, that has been the oldest operational Birmingham bus for a very, very long time. But we've got another one coming through, hopefully be back on the road next year, that is even older. But today, that's the oldest one and it's its 80th birthday. Then after the war, they had to replace the entire fleet. They got rid of all the trams, they got rid of all the trolley buses, all the old bus fleet. Whole lot was replaced after World War II. And the other one that celebrated its 70th birthday, that was one of the first of the post-war deliveries. It's the same sort of appeal that the steam railways have. It's just taking you back to an era that has completely gone. Once you get on one of our buses, you're back in the 1940s or 1950s. There's a conductor there taking your fare and checking your tickets. Nowadays, there's around 100 buses here, plus some milk floats, fire engines. There's one more event on Saturday, October the 28th, when we stay open till 7 p.m, and the buses will be running in the twilight. So it's an experience you don't get at any other time of the year.
In addition, it's also worth noting that it's now 40 years since the last rear open platform buses ran on routes in Birmingham. Bus enthusiasts were able to ride to and from the city centre in one of the former open-back Midland-bred buses, which was built in 1965, adding a touch of realism to their nostalgic journey. I do love to see the old buses in action, and it's great that in our area we've got a number of places such as Withall that you can go and literally take a ride back in time. Right up to date though now, let's take a look at the latest sports news. Here's Sasha.
Thanks, Lee. We all know that exercise is beneficial for our physical health, but today we'll be talking about the benefits of sport and exercise for your mental health to coincide with World Mental Health Day. My Time Active is an exercise programme that runs in Sandwell and Walsall, and it helps people to lead healthier lifestyles. Here's more about it.
So here at My Time Active we run healthy lifestyle services across Sandwell. One of them is the weight management and exercise classes, which run over 24 weeks. The 12 weeks are completely free, and then the next 12 weeks they simply pay £2 a week. So if there's anyone who's looking to lose weight or get more active or even improve their nutrition or diet, then they can come to us for some free health and support.
I went to the doctors for a health check. It's a regular health check, that's just your blood and everything. and the doctor found out I was 111.1 or something kilograms, which is 17 stone 7. And they said, well, do you want to lose weight? I said, well, of course I do. So they get me in touch with My Life Active. And I came and I really enjoyed it as well. You know, they was doing these exercises.
Well, because they're on the programme for 24 weeks, it's quite nice because they get different topics every week. I try to tend to give handouts every week as well. So every week they build up a portfolio. So after the 24 weeks, hopefully they can go away with a big knowledge base of what to eat, what not to eat, and why, basically. Yeah, that's the most rewarding part about the job, really, because you get to follow people through their journey, and people do lose quite a bit of weight. And it's not about the losing weight, really. It's how they change their lifestyle and how much it betters their lifestyle. And like that Michael in the class, he's lost 3.5 stone today because he finished. And this, like, the difference in his quality of life is immense. Yeah, so we're quite against calling ourselves a diet, where we promote just a healthy lifestyle, which I really push for, like, small positive changes rather than a drastic change like the fad diets do. So I think the key is sustainability, because, well, there's a figure I read that 75% of people end up heavier after when they've gone fad diets than when they started. So it's about, they need to be able to maintain it when they leave. So I think that's there's no point doing it for six months and then putting it all back on. So yeah, it's all about sustainability and little changes. You still got to enjoy yourself, haven't you? You still got to live, really.
Yeah. And I also spoke to a fitness instructor about the benefit of having a day dedicated to looking after our health.
A lot of the population anyway participate in some sort of fitness, but obviously the government are trying to obviously boost that number up. But I think more importantly than fitness, it's a mental thing as well, because the better you feel physically, the better you feel mentally as well. So I think to have one day in the year to recognise that, I think it can only boost up the number of people to actually participate in fitness in the future, to be honest. So yeah, I think it's really important.
It's important for people to understand their bodies, understand what makes them feel better. Looking after your physical health is not only fantastic for your own health and to feel fitter and stronger, but it's fantastic for people's mental health as well. It's really important to maintain a healthy weight, a healthy level of fitness. It'll help with sleeping and mental disorders and things like that. It's really useful just for your all-around health.
That's all for today's sport, but if you have anything you'd like to share, email sport@madeinbirmingham.tv. Back to Lee.
Thank you, Sasha. Well, the temperatures outside do seem to be bucking the trend a little for autumn at the moment, don't they? But is it going to continue? Well, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the West Midlands and maybe we'll find out.
Hello there. Well, looking more generally across the UK, we can expect some showers for many. And taking a close look at the West Midlands, lots of grey skies and showers, including Birmingham. A little drier to the northwest, but still overcast and cloudy, and a little breezier with gusts reaching 19 miles per hour. So moving into the afternoon, those highs around 15 degrees Celsius, but it could be actually feeling a few degrees cooler, more like 11 or 12 degrees. Similar conditions for the afternoon with rainy spells and light cloud coverage, lasting into the evening as well. Temperatures overnight getting down to around 11 or 12 degrees Celsius or 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Moving into Thursday, it's currently looking like a completely different picture, less of the wet weather, and we could even get some sunshine in the morning with temperatures up by a degree to 16 degrees Celsius. Now, thanks today go to Callum for this wet but lovely shot of a Birmingham rainbow. If you want to be featured, then the email to contact is weather@madeinbirmingham.tv. The outlook then getting slightly cloudier as the week goes on, possibly a little rainy on Sunday, but highs rising up to 20 degrees by the end of the weekend.
And finally, have you ever given much thought to what life was like, say, just over 60 years ago? Well, one of the ways is to leaf through the pages of your local newspaper. So let's do that now with Tipton. This huge volume of the once popular but defunct Tipton Herald newspaper belongs to Tipton Civic Society. With more money to spend than ever in the October of 1956, people were being encouraged to spend it on cars and home luxuries. The new Austin Princess car, unveiled at the Paris Motor Show, was capable of reaching 100 miles an hour and boasted a fully automatic transmission, deep piled carpets and a walnut veneer interior. Price £3,300. At the start of the year, Singer and Roots cars have merged, and 9 months later they gave birth to a car that was more affordable to the average man in the street. The new Singer Gazelle Saloon was on sale at less than half the price of the Princess, and they were available from Ashmore's at Roebuck Lane in West Bromwich. Oh, and it was said to drive through a 4-speed synchro mesh gearbox with fingertip control. Very nice. Dartmouth's garage on the High Street in West Brom stated that they'd been bombarded with enquiries about the new Austin A35 car, which was much cheaper than the Gazelle. And the same garage was encouraging customers to invest in an Austin first-class road carrier. Meanwhile, Oakfields of Dudley, with over 40 years of manufacturing experience, were keen to sell you a fireplace from as little as a £5, or a kitchen from £8, 9 shillings and sixpence. Although larger, more modern designs were twice the price, and modern sink units could set you back as much as £15, 19 shillings and sixpence. Money down the drain, or money well spent? You could decide. Across town on Dudley High Street, your future happiness was assured as you kitted out your home with new furniture. You could even have a £4 shillings and a pound deposit and take 2 years to pay the balance. Old furniture was even taken away in part exchange, under what was described as a unique scheme which the manager would be able to talk about without obligation. Maybe if you've got an Austin first-class road carrier, you could get it there for nothing. Memories from adverts in the Tipton Herald from October 1956. Now here's an odd thing, I come from Tipton myself, but I was once on the front page of the Dudley Herald when I was about 9 years old. It was my school's sports day and I was beaten in the sack race by another famous Wolves player, Derek Dugan. Tell you what, he was quick. Anyway, that's it for the moment from me and the team here at Birmingham News. If you'd like to get in touch with us, then our email address is news@madeinbirmingham.tv. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye bye for now.